Hello everyone. Today I'm going to do a quick demo and review of the Hifiman HM901 digital audio player. In case you guys don't know, Hifiman is one of the leading manufacturers of excellent high-end planar magnetic headphones and portable audio products. It is a high-end digital audio player which can play almost all type of music files. For example, standard MP3, WAV, FLAC, ALAC, and also it can play 16-bit or 24-bit audio files which are very close to the studio master quality. It can support DSD files, but I mean as not as natively, but it converts DSD to PCM on the fly and plays it. So what we're looking here is the Hifiman HM901 box. As we can see, it's quite nice, and it has a nice metal finish to here. And on the back, we can see it says HM901 with all the specification part. So we're going to open the box. I'll just turn it around. So we'll go through the contents in the box and then look at the main player at the end. So this is the power brick which came with it. This is the extension cable for the power brick. It comes with a SPDIF to RC output. So as we were discussing, this is the standard amp card which comes with the HM901 if you buy it like on the website. I'll go into these details about these amplifier cards, I mean what are they used for, in a few seconds. Now we'll unbox the HM901 player. It's nicely packaged, and there's the player itself. Now we are going to look at the player in more detail. As you can see, there is a nice big UI screen over here, but it is not touch enabled. So it's mostly driven by the buttons over here. What we can see is the front view of this player, and so they have like the home button here, the play button, rewind and forward, and there is a navigation click wheel on the middle, which is quite the main thing in this player. Like I use it a lot. So this will help you navigate through the UI and select your songs. And also this is the kind of an enter button in the middle. This is for going back. And what we can see here is a volume control knob on the top. This thing is a step potentiometer, which is like, you can see it in like top end amps and all. And Hifiman has implemented very similar step potentiometer in HM901, and it's a joy to use, and it's really nice, and you can get the nice click feel when you turn it. Now we'll look at the left side of the player. On the left side we have the SD card slot. So this one doesn't take micro SD, it takes a full SD card. It can support up to 128 GB at the moment. And on the top we can see there is a button here called to change the mode, the sound output of this from balanced to normal. This player can support balanced output as well as obviously the normal output. But in order to get the balanced output, you need a balanced amp card. We'll talk about the amp cards very soon. Then we'll look at the top of the player. And one thing to notice here it has a nice leathery feel on the top. So we're looking at the top part of the player. It has a headphone jack. Your balanced headphones with a TRS output of 3.5mm jack can fit here to give you the balanced sound output, or the normal 3.5mm jack can be inserted here for your music play. Now we are looking at the right hand side of the player. You can see there are a few switches here. One is the HD or the vintage. So what the HD vintage does, HD means high definition in this case, and what they have implemented is that there is less roll off in the music in the high frequencies. It provides a more modern sonic signature in a layman terms, but the vintage one gives you a 3 dB roll off at 20 kilohertz to mimic the softer signature you get from like classical hi-fi gears. So that's the purpose of this. I prefer it in the vintage. There is a low gain and high gain amp section over here. The low gain is mostly for your low resistance IEM headphones, and high gain is to drive your powerful headphones. It can drive the LCD3 pretty well, not that bad, but it's always better to have an amp for those bigger headphones. And there is a lock button here. So if we lock it, it will lock the EY as well as all these buttons functionality. So in case you click on the buttons by mistake or in a bag, it won't affect anything. That's the purpose of the lock button. And so we're looking at the bottom of the player. The one sad thing about this is they didn't implement the the standard micro USB port, or like, which is the standard you can find. So they have done their own proprietary Hifiman USB port over here. The port can support the SPDIF cable, which I showed few minutes back, and also it helps in charging. But I noticed that we can't do data transfer with this port in Windows 8 at least. I haven't tried with other OS at the moment. And there is a lock switch here which prevents the back cover from coming off. So we're looking at the back of the device. It says Hifiman over there with few standard specifications and accreditations it has got. So it is a pure metal back cover. I'll remove it. You can see it's a pure metal, very well built back cover. So it has a battery which is of 1600 milliampere lithium ion battery. For me, like, I'm listening to a couple of 24-bit songs and also standard 16-bit music. It depends on what kind of music you're listening to. For me, it's coming about like 7 hours. And as per Hifiman specification, I think it is about 10 hours battery life if you just listen to standard 16-bit audio. Now we'll remove the battery over here. You can change the battery, so that's one good thing. You can carry a spare battery with you always. And that's quite surprising for a small portable player. We can see there is a small card over here. So that's the amplification module I was talking about. Currently inside the player there is a IEM amplification module designed for IEM earphones, so to give you the optimal sound quality. By default, I think the standard one comes in the package, and that's the good thing about this HM901. It's so modular. You can customize it as you like, and you don't have to change the player for that. These cards, I think, cost around $200 to $400. The balanced amp card, I heard, is the best one, but unfortunately I don't have it. But I'm quite happy with the IEM card over here. It does a really good job with the sound quality. In the next section, we'll be looking at the UI and how the UI looks and the navigation part of it. One thing I forgot to tell you, like, the player is, I think, quite big, and as you can see from the size, it's quite bulky, so that might be quite a turn-off point for some people. But the sound-wise or sonically, it's just super. We are going to look at the UI of HM901. The UI is, they call it the Tai Chi UI software. So here I'm going to boot up the device. It comes with a flash screen of HM901. It's booting up. It's a bit slow, I agree to it. It's not like quickly boots up. It's not as comprehensive, or like is not as detailed, where you get to choose a lot of options as AK240. So what we are seeing here is the now play. As I said before, we'll use the scroll wheel to actually navigate through. And as you can see, the wheel is a bit clumsy and it's not that easy to use. So they have the very basic menus which you can expect in a like digital player, which is the genre, the album, the artist, and it has the folder browsing, which is quite good, which I like it, the SD card. Um, then the favorite, but to mark a song as favorite, you have to go to the song which is playing and then hold the central button and then choose the favorite song. I'll show that in a minute. There is now playing. We'll look at the settings first. As you can see, there's the battery indicator on the top and it says it's in the main menu. The system version as of date is 2.001. And what options do we have? We have repeat, shuffle, backlit, resume playback, sleep mode. I definitely suggest to put a sleep mode timeout because otherwise it will drain the battery if it's on. It has some standard language and digital bypass filter, and you can reset the settings. As you can see, it's quite a bit struggle to actually move through. You might miss these menus when you're scrolling through. The scroll wheel is still not that well implemented. And if I click on the home button, I go to the home. If I go to the now playing, and this is where you can see the album artwork, the actual song which is playing, and if I hold the center button, the quick menu comes up on top. There you can choose the repeat option, the play direct, then you can delete the song, and this is where you can favorite a song. You click it and the song is in your favorites. That's how it is, and the back button will take you to wherever you were last. And I'm in the now playing menu, but you still don't have much options here. Like there's no equalizer as you get in AK240, and AK240 UI is very fluid to use, and the volume indicator is purely on the wheel, so you don't get a UI feedback when you change the volume wheel. As you can see, I'm changing the volume wheel, there's no UI feedback. And yep, so that's kind of the quick demo and review of HM901. Oh sorry, I forgot to mention, with sound quality wise, it is actually like superb, and I think I like it better than AK240. AK240 is very clinical, but this Hifiman HM901 with the IEM card produces excellent sound. Like it has a magic of its own. That's what I like about it. So yep, so the disadvantages are it's quite bulky, it's quite heavy, and it's quite big. It's bigger compared to AK240, and the UI is quite hard to use, which might turn off some people. But sound wise, it's I think it's top notch. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more.